in... Do you have to run out? Yeah, I'm running around. Yeah. Kia ora koutou and welcome to the launch of Masher by Fifi Colston. You can get a round of applause for that. I am Amon, I'm from Good Books, which we're here. We've got about 25 people in the shop here to celebrate with us in person, and we have more on the internet celebrating with us there. Here is Masher. That's where the camera is there. And I'd just like to say from Good Books that we're really grateful for you to come here and celebrate the launch with us here, and we're very excited. And there's a lineup of 3 speakers before Fifi talking about how great the book is. Because we asked some people and they just all said yes.
Some people volunteered.
Yeah. So I'd first like to welcome Sarah Forster to introduce Masher.
Hello.
You can take it off.
Hi, that's right. I can too. Hi, I'm Sarah. I've never known anyone like Fifi for her unbounded joy in crafts and creativity, matched with a talent for writing, illustrating and crafting of all kinds. And when I started the Sapling, Fifi was one of the first people I told and who championed it. And it's such a pleasure to champion her book in return, which was written as a result of her receipt at the University of Otago College of Education Creative New Zealand residency a couple of years ago. It's so important to have residencies like this one to ensure our creative geniuses like Fi have space to create. Let's talk about Masher. Masher reminded me of my favourite books when I was young, real life with a touch of magic. The type of book you can sink into and the type of book you read again and again. Like Freddie, I was a bit lonely sometimes, and while I didn't quite have the skills to create a friend out of papier-mâché, I certainly had a lot of friends in books. I read this book with my 11-year-old, and it clearly held on to him because we couldn't stay with one chapter a night. While he laughed a few times during the fabulous pun performance in Meridian Mall, his favourite line was, 2 showers in one day and my best friend missing. Could my life get any worse? I think it might have been the showers that had him. Fifi pulls the tales of the mishaps of Masher together with her characteristic humour and skill. The pace is perfect, and the illustrations and extra craft ideas from Dahlia, some of which are here tonight, divine. And you get instructions to build your own Masher. What more could you want? There are 2 more speakers this evening, so I'm nearly done. I just wanted to say that I'm pleased that back in 2008, when I drove Fi and Emmanuel after not practising driving for a while and had a near miss on the Kumara roundabout, we survived, so that the story of Masher could be told. And, you know, I could have my children and stuff. I reckon there's going to be a kid like Freddie Foxworthy reading it again and again. And also thanks to Freddie's classmate Marlon Spiros, getting a fairly accurate idea of how hard it is to make money from your art. Congratulations, Fi. And I think the next speaker tonight is Mary McCallum. And I'd like everybody just to say congratulations in their best Masher voice. Congratulations, Fi.
Oh yeah, I should say I was wearing it and now I'm taking it off. I'll put it down there. Kia ora tātou, everyone. Just finding my notes. Very important that you went on to have children as well as her having her book. That's great, Sarah. Congratulations, Fifi and Penguin Books, on this amazing orange book behind me here. It looks fantastic and I can't wait to read it. I haven't read it yet, unlike you, and I'm really looking forward to it. Usually I'm up here at the launch talking about the book because I'm a publisher and that's kind of what I do. That's my job. But while I publish some of Fifi's books, I'm not the publisher of Masher. I'm here today to talk about Fifi herself. And she did ask me to do this, so hey, you gotta for some reason, there we go. Here we go then. I've known Fifi for, I have to say this, Fi, nearly half a century. No, that doesn't make you a baby when we met. It means that you weren't a lot older, though, than the children who will be reading your book, yeah? So that's interesting in itself, I thought, when I worked it out. So I'm here now as a kind of character witness, I think, but also someone who can confirm that Fifi was a child once, which surely is one of the most important qualifications for being a children's author. In fact, I heard the great Cornelia Funke say once that people who write for children have a kind of an arrested internal age when they stopped growing, somewhere in their childhood. So that allows them access to the world of the child. Cornelia, it was the age of 5. Her children guaranteed that was so. For you, Fifi, I'm thinking, looking at your past child protagonists, like Janie Olive for one, and your love of dress-ups, and dare I say it, your height, I'm thinking sort of 8 or 9, maybe? 8 or 9 years old? I don't know. You might disagree. I didn't know you at that age, but I did know you, as I say, at 13 years old when we started out at Wellington Girls, wearing unattractive teal gym slips and solid brown lace-ups from Hannah's shoe store. Well, some of us were wearing those shoes. For some reason, the unattractive gym slips looked okay on Fifi. She did something with the hems, you can imagine. And she also didn't wear the unattractive shoes, different mother, older sisters. She wore the latest thing in suede with a seam, the Trex. And her hair wasn't scraped into plaits, but in the latest style with this long fringe that she peered out of like Marilyn Monroe. In fact, most of the time she couldn't see what she was doing, but that was all by the by for her, really. She was too cool for school, one has to say. And not being cool, I didn't have a lot to do with her at first, just watched admiringly from a distance. What I did notice, what none of us could miss, was her art. It was both everywhere and nowhere. Fee had enrolled late, I think it was, wasn't it? That you were a late enroller, so you didn't get into the art class. Yeah. Anyway, blame your mum. Blame your mum. I always blame the mums. So none of her work was displayed formally on our school walls. But she still practiced her art every day at school, subversively. Fifi was a graffiti artist par excellence, using a trusty biro, blue, and maybe a felt tip now and then, and a compass. Remember those lovely things from maths? She would gouge images into the desktops. I particularly remember a rhinoceros. And because this is a children's book launch, I won't say what she wrote underneath it. But it was a proper drawing, rendered in fine detail, not like any of the other stuff people were gouging into those school desks. And we were a big school then, 700 girls or something. I can still remember, honestly, vividly, sitting at that particular desk in that particular prefab and looking at the rhino beside my maths book. I had it out, I was working in it, wondering who'd done it. It didn't take long to find out. Fifi Colston was the Banksy of Wellington Girls, a subversive talent only showing what she was capable of with lightning undercover raids when the teacher wasn't looking and the other girls, well, let's say, were busy doing schoolwork, you know, while we were there. Anyway, Wellington Girls never recognised Fi's talent and haven't really to this day, preferring in their Hall of Fame, I went on that today on the website, ridiculous, people like Catherine Mansfield and Ruth Pretty, which is a bit of a sore point. But needless to say, after she left school, Fi came out as an artist in a big way, studying graphic art at the Polytechnic and pursuing a career as, and I've got a quick list here, graphic artist, children's book illustrator, a craft queen on TV's What Now and The Good Morning Show, a creator of costumes, props and puppets for TV and film and corporate clients. I think I'm thinking here of that, was it a lobster, a giant lobster? Yeah. Oh, giant crayfish. Yeah, she may. She was also a stand-up comic, magazine columnist, and a long-time presenter in schools talking about books and running workshops. And Fi took to writing and illustrating her own stories, from early readers to middle fiction novels, and then came those mind-blowing craft books you did. I remember you working so hard on those, incredible. And a fab little a little book about life in lockdown, which we published. I'm sure I've missed something in that list of many things Fifi's done. Oh, yes, sorry, Good Books. You were calling her a Wellington icon. Let's add that in there. But now we've got Masher. And I love that in true Fifi style, she wrote this book undercover. She won this prestigious writer's residency Sarah was talking about, and I'm not going to do the big long title again, down in Dunedin, but it is prestigious and it is a great residency. She went down there ostensibly to write another book, but halfway through she got overtaken by this other idea, which she couldn't ignore, and it became Masher. Fifi, it's a bit like looking like you're working on your maths problems when you're carving a rhino in the school desk, isn't it? But anyway, all good. Look what it became. Fifi is a creative powerhouse, one of those people who help me to keep going in the creative space. It's not easy. It's often a hard scrabble to go from one job to the next, and it don't even start talking about the money. But Fi does it, and with incredible flair. I feel proud to know you, Fi, and to have known you since you were not much more than a kid. A groovy kid, but a kid still. On behalf of all the old welly girls, we call ourselves Woggles, we're so proud of you. Congratulations, darling. May your book do well. It looks a ripper. Thank you.
Tēnā koutou katoa, kua tai mai I tēnei wā, kua tai mai ki tēnei whare ātāhua. Tuatahi ngā mihi nui ki tō tātou tua matua, tēnā koe e pā. Tuarua ngā mihi ki te mana whenua o tēnei wāhi ara Ngāti Toa, tēnā koutou, tēnā rātou katoa. O te rā ngā mihi ki ngā kai whakahaere me ngā kaimahi, o Good Books, mō tā rātou mahi, miharo. Tēnā koutou e te whānau o te ao pukapuka, ko tēnei wā hei te whakanui ki tō mātou hoa, he tangata iho pū manua. Nō reira, no mai, haere mai. That's a hello. There are two things I want to do tonight. Of course, to congratulate Penguin for publishing this wonderful novel, but mostly to honour Fifi Colston. The true definition of an extrinsic mana is the acknowledgement of a person who uses their strengths, gifts, skills to make better the lives of others. This is Fifi in a nutshell. Not only does she do this with people she knows and interacts with, she has done this for countless others who she has never met. I was once one of those other people, a working mother with two demanding young daughters in the chaos that is living and teaching in Auckland, trying to be the best for everyone and feeling I was failing. I felt alone until one day I picked up my favourite magazine, Next, and there I saw a poem with quirky illustrations from some broad who seemed to know exactly what I was going through. I felt seen, I felt better, and each month I look forward to the next poem by Fifi about my life. Fast forward many years later, I had the privilege of touring with Fifi on a Storylines bus tour, and I fell in love with her. Her infectious laugh, her incredible sketching skills, her generosity with the kids and with us, her bravery to take the stage and make us feel better about being who we were. Also, I think that the true indicator of the heart of a person is how much they are willing to learn and grow. Fifi certainly passes this test, and more because her stories, her art just continue to get better and better. Which brings me to Masher. Fifi gave me the manuscript after the 2019 Book Awards, and I read it on the plane back home. I hate flying, but didn't even notice takeoff or touchdown, and I'm certain the guy next to me was fidgeting out of annoyance that I was shaking our seats with my failed attempts to suppress my giggles. I got off the plane, drove straight to school because I was on before school duty, and rang Fifi while walking around making sure the Year 10 boys weren't hurting each other too much under the poor leafless maple tree in the quad. I told her then it was one of the funniest books I'd read in a long while, and I'd just been the judge for the book awards. Then I cheekily sent an email to Catherine from Penguin telling her the same thing, and also suggested she acquire it as soon as possible. In its final form, it's even better, and how lucky that we all get to have the magic of Fifi's illustrations too. You, Fifi, are an inspiration and a dear friend. Thank you for always having my back, for believing in me, but this is about you. I want you to look around. We're here because we are so delighted to celebrate this moment. You deserve all the accolades. You've heard the whakatoki ahakoa he iti hi pounamu, which is actually a translation from Shakespeare's "Though she be little, she is fierce." Jokes. I've just got to put that in there. No, you know what it means. Though a small thing, it is a huge treasure of significant value. That's you, Fifi, our wee treasure with a huge heart and capacity for great things. Congratulations. And these are for you. Nā puti puti mo.
Gosh, I love it when it's all about me. This is beautiful, and I feel like I can't add any more, but of course I can. So I'm just going to put these down. These are beautiful. Thank you. I'm going to... Excuse me while I rustle away, and I'll just make the microphone a little bit lower, you know. There was one other thing I was going to have on my outfit, and I went specially to Animates to buy it, and it is a dog collar, and I put it on, and my 31-year-old son looked as I just put it on casually, and I was kind of like standing around, and he looked at me and he said, "Very 14-year-old girl." And I know, okay, yeah, we're not going to wear that. So but anyway, I have got a few notes on my phone. What's that? You need to do the Masher voice. Oh yeah, I do need to do the Masher voice. Okay, I'll get. Here we go, and of course, I have Masher. So I made Masher during lockdown, in the first lockdown. This is how long a book takes to happen. But so for all of you who have come here, I know there's no wine, and that's what usually gets people along to book launch. But I have booked a table at a place that I will tell you where the secret location. At the end of this launch, and please join me for a drink, I have a tab at the bar. And as long as you all just have water, I think it would last all night. So if you're watching virtually, you can toast us in your PJs. And thank you for being there virtually. This is a book that a team built. I want to say thank you to a lot of people. So, firstly, to my best gal writer buddies, Melinda Germanic, who first got the residency for writers that I secretly desired, but felt blue about the idea of not being selected. She knew me. And Maria Gill, who said, "Apply. Women like us don't give up." And Barbara Else, who helped me write a robust application for the residency when I secretly said to her, "I really, really want this residency, and I don't know how to write an application. I can't write applications for anything and get a good result." And she looked over it and said, "Go, girl." I want to say thank you to the Otago College of Education Creative Writer. It's a long thing. Creative New Zealand Writers Residency, where I got an office and a salary, a photocopier privileges, and a cottage. The cottage was fantastic. I want to say thank you to the Robert Lord Cottage in Titan Street, nestled in the heart of the student drinking precinct. I want to say thank you to my husband, Adrian, who swept the glass from the gutters each morning and wondered why I hadn't applied for Monton instead. Or he keeps saying Helsinki, although we saw Helsinki on the news the other day and we're not going there. I want to thank the Otago Polytech Cafe cheese rolls that sustained me through writing Masha and where I wrote the end. I want to thank Anna Golden, a Golden editor, who tenderly wrestled my first typo-ridden draft that contained far too many semicolons so that it was suitable for submission. Thank you, Anna. I want to thank Tanya Roxburgh, my amazing author buddy, who knows our Tamariki's minds and read the first draft, then heartily recommended it to Catherine O'Loughlin at Penguin Random House while on a plane back from Christchurch from the Book Awards. She knows kids. I want to thank Mary McCallum, my oldest school buddy from age 12, who would have helped me publish at Cuba Press if Penguin Random House said no. I think you said that, didn't you? No, we were walking through an olive grove and I just basically said, well, you'll publish this, and you were going, oh, okay. Mary knows what happiness is. And happiness, amongst other things, is a published book. You'll notice that there's much repeated use of the word buddy in this speech. Good friends are precious, and you must never take them for granted. Masha. Yeah. I want to thank Vicky Marsden at High Spot Literary Agency, who brokered the deal with Catherine O'Loughlin at Penguin Random House. It takes a little while to get these things happening, and Vicky was just managed that fantastically. Thank you, Vicky. And I want to thank all the team. I want to thank Catherine O'Loughlin and Sarah L., who edited the book with kindness, rigour and skill and never once hurt my feelings. And they also said, yeah, we've got to have illustrations in there too. And I was able to draw exactly what I liked, so it was great. I want to thank all the team at Penguin Kids who made a beautiful book with embossing and overglossing and sent me quality champagne on publication. I want to thank the Good Books team, Catherine Robertson, Jane Arthur, Eamon, Becky, Rose and Freya, who are so supportive of me and my work. Woof. And thank you to every single last one of you who came and everybody online. I feel like my book has finally launched into the world, and I'm very proud of it. I'm just so glad if people read it and laugh. Thank you. Oh yeah, I was going to read. Sorry. Yes, I have a bookmarked a bit. But oh gosh, I'm not used to doing this. Online, it's been ages since we've actually done a launch. It's been forever. And at one stage, there were like 5 launches a week. It was like, oh, another launch. How much wine can I drink? And how many more books can I buy? Hundreds. I'm going to read a little bit here. I'm not going to read ages and ages, but it's the point at which, because at this stage you do know that Masha has sort of become alive, and it's Freddie's discovery of Masha doing that. So Dahlia, his sister, she's in the kitchen when Freddie and Masha go into the kitchen. So they need a bit of something growled, probably my stomach. It's like time to raise my blood sugar levels. Come on, I said to my creation, let's get a snack. A drop of saliva dropped on my T-shirt. Weird. I thought I'd done with dribbling when I was a baby. Downstairs in the kitchen, I rummaged through the pantry. You still playing with that lame puppet, said Dahlia, her eyes never lifting from her phone. I was surprised she could see Masha at all. I grabbed a slice of bread and a jar of peanut butter and began spreading it thickly. I thought you'd said I'd done a good job of him. Yeah, but he's still lame. I mean, really, Axel's dead dog. She literally spat his name. What was up with her? I picked up the slice and took a big bite. You're getting that stuff all over your corpse, she sneered, picking up a bag and heading for the door. Dang, I'd forgotten I was still wearing the glove puppet. I turned my hand to check Mash's fur wasn't all covered in oil. He had peanut butter all around his mouth. And didn't it seem somehow fuller in the face? I wiped the spread off his muzzle, but there was still a great glob of it in his mouth. I was careless. I stuck my finger in between his teeth to fish it out and, ow! I pulled my finger away. Did that puppet just chomp on my finger? What the hey? Nah, it was obviously just a dried up paper mash scratching me. I picked up a tea towel with my free hand and rolled the corner into a point to wipe the peanut butter out of the puppet's mouth. The cloth got stuck behind his canines. I couldn't prise it free without damaging them, and I didn't want a puppet with broken teeth. Hungry for my sandwich and annoyed with the whole thing, I lost my patience. Open your stupid mouth. I lost it, sorry. Open your stupid mouth. The tea towel fell out. Only if you shut yours. And Masha blinked. What? As I stared at the puppet on my hand, he curled up his lips and let out a low growl. I tore him off my hand and threw him down onto the bench. Masha lay unmoving on the kitchen bench amongst the breadcrumbs. He was just recycled egg cartons, glue and a furry hat. Wasn't he? A small voice inside my head added, and a dead dog's ashes, Freddie. I think that's reading. I think. What do we do next? Oh, we've got a draw. So we have a draw for a Masha T-shirt. Here we go. Lovely. So this is a smallish T-shirt, and it will fit the age group for the book. I think not all of them at once. So I'm just gonna. I have not seen any of these names, but I'm pulling out this piece of paper here. The person who Ainsley Bell has won the T-shirt, and I know who this T-shirt is going to go to. It's going to go to her daughter Claire. And well done, Ainsley. We will be sending that to you. And awesome, great, very pleased about that. Oh, thank you, excellent, and a little prezi from Good Books. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming. And yeah, I'm going to sign some books now. So yeah, I've got a special pen. It's orange.
There are still books for sale over there, and for those online, there is a link in the YouTube thing to buy the book. It's a direct link to the page where you can buy the book right now. Thank you.
Great. Okay, thanks. Thank you so much.